What's up, everybody? We are back. This is PainUser.
Hey, this is HD.
And we got game 2 for you guys between Liquid Huk and FOXMoon. This is in the Dreamhack 2011 finals. And this is going to be a good series. We had Huk take game 1 with a very quick 4-gate. Moon is going to be spawning as our blue Zerg in the bottom left-hand corner. Map is Shakura's Plateau. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, Liquid Huk. He's going to be the red Protoss.
Yeah, and I just got to say, what a build by Huk. Just going for the 4-gate, just balls to the wall, said, you know, this is not a build that is used all the time in top-tier level play, but I'm gonna do it right here, right now, and it worked. And
dude, Huk has been 4-gating since the beginning of time.
That's true, man.
If there's one build he has down better than anyone else, it has to be the 4-gate, because that. A lot of people say that that's how he, made himself famous, just 4-gating his way to the top. But Huk's actually a very talented player. He did 4-gate quite often, though, especially on the ladder.
And he was known for a while, too, after all those 4-gating, to be able to play on one base for a sustained amount of time. He was actually very famous also for just being a powerful one-base Protoss player.
Yeah.
And nowadays, though, ever since coming back from Korea, we were talking about that, he has really become such a dominant force in all aspects of the game, not just 4-gating, not just one-basing, but everything. But the hallmark to a really good player is not only being able to do the long-term game, but also being able to come back to your roots and playing that standard one-base 4-gate play.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's just a very good strat in general, just to take a quick win. You can catch your opponent off guard. It's fairly simple to execute, and if executed well, it's very powerful. And ooh, look at Huk just stealing a little bit of minerals there from behind the mineral line, just being as annoying as possible. Moon not going for the quickest possible hatchery. He's actually opening with pool and gas once again. And Huk going Nexus first, even after seeing the pool first. So a little bit of a risky play by Huk, but I don't think he has too much to worry about. He will be able to get that forge and a cannon up, and he might get a drone here.
Almost.
No.
Huk also very famous for his scouting probe. Not only is it a gangster, it's stealing 5 minerals, but it also comes into your house and does a little bit of damage to you. So pretty nasty. But you were mentioning here that, Huk opening up with the Nexus first is risky, but on a map like Shakura's Plateau, where you can easily wall off with 2 gates or a gate and a forge, I don't think he's going to have too much of an issue. And the onus now is on Moon. What's he going to do? Is he going to 2-hatch Expo right away, or is he going to try to do some kind of a one-base all-in?
I doubt Moon's going to go for the one-base all-in. I have seen him do it from time to time, and it is definitely possible, but he is getting that hatch, so he's not going to do the one-base all-in. He might do some sort of a 2-hatch all-in, which
with roaches and links,
with roaches and links. He'll get the expansion up, get a really early roach warren, and then try and bust with roaches and links. But on a map like this, where it's just such a defensible position at your natural, it's so easy for the Protoss player just to hold on and hunker down and wall that off. And it looks like he is going to full wall there with the cybernetics core, so he's going to have a solid wall with 3 high hit point buildings. There's no pylons in the wall, so it's going to be very difficult to break.
Indeed. And Huk here is completely stable at this point, and I would argue, from a Zerg player's perspective, on this map, I think the best option here is just grab a quick 3rd hatch and just take a page out of Rhett's book, and exactly, that's what he's going to do. He's going to send the drone out, he's going to try to expand right over here immediately, and try to play the macro game. Yeah,
I think that's a good idea, especially when a Protoss fast expands like that, especially if he goes Nexus first. You can't just concede going for the macro game. I mean, he's taking a huge macro lead on you, so you've got to bounce back and react with taking a macro lead of your own. You got to take that early 3rd.
And that's the Zerg slogan, man. Macro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Macro for the win.
And you always want to be 1 base up on your Protoss opponent.
Exactly. Until, of course, the Protoss player is able to get a 3rd base, then that's when things get a little dicey, because I've seen situations where a Zerg will have 4 or 5 base, but a Protoss and 3 base is a formidable force that is very hard to break.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let me mention as well, thank goodness that this isn't the old Shakura's Plateau where there was the destructible rocks here.
Oh, yeah.
If that was the case, man, I think Huk would just take this game, no problems, hands down.
Yeah, I think that actually made the map a lot better for Protoss. They could take that back Expo relatively safe, and then there would only be 2 entrances really to their base where you could effectively do damage, and it was just so easy for them to defend. But, you know, the thing about Protoss being so strong on 3 base is that they have those high gas units that are just so powerful. So once they get up to 6 gas and they're mining efficiently off of 6 geysers, they just explode in terms of army power. I mean, their army value just goes off the charts at that point. They continue to get those upgrades. They continue to work in the Colossus, Immortals, you know, Void Rays, whatever units they're making. They're all just so powerful and they require so much gas. Zerg, on the other hand, you can continue to take more bases, but I mean, really, your only high gas, high value units that you're going to be able to really mass produce are going to be Brood Lords and Infestors.
Yeah, and that doesn't come till the way later stages of the game.
Yeah.
I love the vocabulary you use to describe an economy that's becoming strong for the Protoss. 6 geysers is explode.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes to a point where it's, you know, everything's going smooth for you. You think you've got the game in hand, and then Protoss just explodes. It's when they get on 3 base, and they become such a more difficult problem to deal with at that point.
And the thing for Zerg is what you want to do is trade armies with the Protoss before they're able to get that, you know, 3rd base, 6 geyser economy running, and they're able to max out their army. Now, Huk is moving out. He destroyed his building.
All sentries, too.
All sentries, too.
He should be careful. I mean, if he gets surrounded.
It's true, man. I mean, these sentries are so vulnerable and they're so weak, but you can push out with an entirely sentry army if you're only looking to grab the 3rd expansion and you're being very, very cautious. And Huk is the kind of player that has such good micro that he isn't gonna lose sentries to anything. I mean, he's gonna be very cautious and careful, and he's not going to allow some kind of a Ling run by to take these out. So
he has fantastic force fields as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely. And now that I think the onus is on Moon, is he gonna strike Huk before the 3rd Nexus gets up and running? Or is he going to sit back and play more macro?
Oh no, the onus is on Moon.
Oh no.
Huk, gonna take this 3rd, sit back, play the macro style. Moon may in fact go for an aggressive attack here. We have 2 stalkers headed into the 3rd. I don't know what exactly Huk is looking to accomplish with these 2 stalkers. They're most likely going to go down. Yeah, but the timing is just a little bit off. Those 2 stalkers not going to be able to get out of there. I think maybe he was trying to send those in right as Blink was finishing and then get in, get a scout off, possibly blink out of there, but that's certainly not going to go down. And wow, look at all these Lings and Roaches coming out of Moon here. I think we are going to see a timing attack on the 3rd. He's scouting in right now with the Ling, and I think there's going to be an attack following up here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so too, PainUser. I mean, all we see right here are Roaches and Lings being constructed. He may be waiting for the Glio Reconstitution and Burrow to finish, and that is, of course, going to allow him to micro-burrow his Roaches, but he will not have Tunneling Claws. Despite that, though, he is pushing out, and his Roach speed just now finishing. So here we go, positioning the Lings to get a surround against the Stalkers is Moon, and Moon's going to come in here, and I don't know if Huk has enough sentries to block this off, but it's certainly going to be a close one.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. Moon getting around with more Roaches, and Huk walling himself in behind his artificial wall of force fields, but he will quickly run out of those force fields, and he is blinking the Stalkers up right now to hold on for this 3rd Nexus.
I don't know if Huk has enough to hold on here. That is so many Roaches now that Burrow is done. He's still not using it to get under the force fields, but Huk might actually hold here. Some of the Roaches are headed off to the right over there. Reinforcement Lings coming into the 3rd now, though, and we do have Roaches in the natural of Huk. I don't think Huk's going to be able to hold on here. There's really no way. Robo goes down.
That was building an Immortal, too, man.
And Moon taking a decisive lead in this game.
Yeah, horrible loss here for Huk. And Huk, we were talking about him. He's so good and so cautious, but what do you do when all these Lings and Roaches come knocking at your front door? And now it's at the natural, and Huk is quickly running out of time.
Yeah, and all rally points are set to Huk's base. It is non-stop reinforcement here. We've got Lings, we've got Roaches. I mean, there's just a straight Roach infestation in Huk's base here, and there's not much he can do about it. He is fresh out of any sort of extermination options. He has a few Stalkers. They're all in the red.
I think his only option was getting that Immortal out, and he was trying to chrono boost it, but then the robotics facility was like, meow.
Meow. Dead.
All the Roach acid, it burns.
Just burns. Dropped.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for game 2. Man, Moon able to bring it back.
Yeah.
He's probably a little bit upset about that 4-gate.
I would be upset too, man, if I was a Zerg. Anyways, we want to thank you guys all for tuning in. We will have Game 3 coming up, but before that, we want to do a quick couple of shout-outs. PainUser,
Yeah, if you guys enjoyed our casts, be sure and check me out. You can find me at youtube.com/stratbunker, and you can also find me at twitter.com/PainUser.
And you guys, of course, can find me at youtube.com/HDStarcraft. And believe it or not, I am starting my Twitter again. I have not used it for quite some time, but you guys can follow me now. I'll be using it a little bit more. It is twitter.com/HDStarcraft or at HDStarcraft, one of those.
Hey man, I'll be chatting with you on Twitter too. I'll help you blow that back up.
If you guys want to follow our conversation, that'll be awesome. We love followers. We love tweeting. And also make sure to check out the IPL. That will start on July 14th, which is tomorrow, actually.
It will indeed.
But by the time this video goes up, it may actually be already running. So you guys should go check it out at ign.com/IPL.
Yeah, IGN Season 2 going live. HD and I will both be casting several games from that tournament, as well as some of our co-casters. Many of the famous casters from the world will actually be casting in IPL Season 2. So make sure you guys check that out, and we'll be coming right back with Game 3.